Welcome back, everyone, to Poppin' Often with Lofton. Today, I'm going to be doing another responding to comments video. What video, might you ask? The video that I uploaded about Grand Chase adding new content. If you haven't seen that video, link in the description below. So I'm going to start a new series. It's going to be called Grand Chase Discussions. You guys actually seem to like that video a lot. And in the past, you guys like those type of videos as well. What I'm gonna do though, is I'm not gonna read any comments until the next day and then respond to your comments in video. Feel free to put any topic about Grand Chase or any other games in the comments below. Who knows, maybe your topic will be featured in the next video, and if it is, I'll shout you out. We're gonna have a discussion video and then a response video. Discussion, response, discussion, response. That way we can communicate together and you guys can see what I'm thinking, and it's a group discussion. Got the little Christmas vibe here, you know? The season of giving. Speaking of giving, I need to give someone a shout out. Cade, if we can get some fireworks or something sparking up. Cade, thank you for becoming a Patreon. I appreciate it. You, along with the others, are the reason why I can keep making videos. Thank you so much, Cade. I'm talking to you and the rest of you. Kitten, thank you for being a Patreon supporter. I appreciate it. Azrael or Azrael, look, I'm bad at names, but thank you. I appreciate your support as well. Divine Solar, thank you. Best, thank you. And as I said, Cade, thank you. I appreciate it. Every single time we get a new Patreon, I'm gonna shout out the whole cast, thanking you guys, because without you guys, there would be no content for this channel, so thank you. If anyone else wants to help support the channel so the content can keep coming out, Patreon link below. When we reach our goal, I'll be able to do regular streams. So the goal is on Patreon. Once we reach our goal, I'll be doing regular streams, and you guys could be coming into my streams. We could be playing stuff together. You guys could be watching me play Grand Chase. I could really level up and stuff like that. So if that's something that you want to see regular streams in the future, check that Patreon. Once we reach that goal, we're going to start having some regular streams. Let's get started. I'm hyped. All right, let's start with the first one. I actually do hope no new content happens until all the old content has returned. Why? Because each time they release a character, new bugs happen, new gameplay related problems arise, etc. It makes it hard to actually play seriously each patch, because honestly, I always expect something needs fixing each time. So we'll comment on that and then we'll go to the second part that they wrote as well. Galestorm, thank you for the comment. I appreciate that. How are you doing, by the way? So with that first comment there, I agree. New bugs and new things do happen, and if it is, it's not as simple as turning on a switch, but let's just assume it is. And all they're doing is like, okay, this new content's out, this new character is out, this is out, this is out. If there's new content that they have to implement into the game, that can cause bugs with everything. And if the character is not even out yet, it might cause so many bugs with that character that then they'd have to postpone the character release. So I definitely agree with that comment. There's really no reason to add more stuff to it if it's going to cause more bugs. That being said, that doesn't mean that they maybe weren't working on new stuff already and they already have those bugs, or at least a lot of the major ones, fixed and stuff like that. And in which case I would like new content, because obviously they worked on it, and to the point where it's not going to be having any major thing going wrong. What new content I expect? Maybe skill trees for the previous characters. I mean, Elysis really needs improvement, new dungeons hopefully, but it requires work. It would be cool if there's continuation to the story, like introduce new worlds, then new characters. I agree, that'd be pretty cool. I get this a lot, people asking about skill trees on other characters. I remember reading something where skill trees weren't really supposed to happen, they just kind of did. I'm pretty sure it was to match with the fact that AP and AMP characters had skill trees, so it was like, well, let's give them skill trees too to kind of keep up, because it would be a distinct disadvantage. They did put a lot of effort into those skill trees, especially giving new things and removing some things. So it definitely goes to show that they have the capability, I think, of adding new skill trees to those jobs. The thing is, how many people would want new skill trees for those jobs? And what more can you offer? You know what I mean? It's not enough to say, hey, I want a skill tree, let's get one. And like, what else can you offer that the other jobs probably haven't offered yet? For example, I'll just use Jhin. His other jobs have evades, his other jobs have special skills and whatnot. Like, what else can you offer to those jobs that, because when you're getting new jobs, second, third, and fourth, they're not only changing the identity of the character, but they're also improving the character, which is why people don't really use first jobs too often. So adding a skill tree to those other jobs, it would be fairly difficult. And I'd probably be on board with like little things, but as big as like the skill tree for first job, I just think that would make the game way too hectic. Would it be fun? Yeah, but realistically speaking, how many people would use that, right? You're creating skill trees for 4 jobs, you know, including first. You have 4 skill trees for 4 jobs. And what if nobody plays that character? That was a waste of resources and money. You know what I mean? So I think there's a lot more going into it aside from just, I think there'd be a lot more thought needed to put into that. The realistic version of like, are we getting more out of it than what we're putting in? You know what I mean? Because that's the thing whenever you do anything in life. You want to get more out of it than what you're putting in. That way you see profit and you see results. So that's a very, very hard one. But as far as new story and new worlds, I definitely think that's doable. I definitely think that's something that they should do. Very, very good suggestion for sure. Thank you, Gale Storm, once again for commenting on that video. Adolfo, the next one here says, personally, I really loved when event dungeons were a special thing, but I won't complain about its actual state. What I don't like is that you cannot actually play event dungeons or champion mode without limits as it was before. You could buy tickets with GP or get event tickets from dungeons if you were lucky. The fact that you can only play those like once per day is sad. For example, I love pets in Grand Chase and I love grinding them. However, it's super hard to get a different pet nowadays because of the tickets, and I don't want dually until I die. Hell no. My main still has the Geico's pet, and I have reached level 85 like 2 months ago. I'm waiting for that system to get fixed, hopefully, or for KOG to set like a special event dedicated to champion mode or something. I do agree, but I don't think they'll change that. What they have been doing, I think almost every patch, is they've been giving people abilities to get different champion mode tickets quicker, event tickets quicker. They're cheaper sometimes. Like they've been doing events to make it so that you're getting it easier. I don't know if you took breaks within those patches, but those were definitely those patches for that. As far as like not having events, it does suck, but at least they're doing something rather than just like, you know, just ignoring the issue. You know, even with this Rainbow event, you're getting champion tickets for just playing the game. So that's pretty cool. It's not a fix 100%. I don't think it's a fix, and I don't think, like I said, it will be fixed, but it is something. It's better than nothing. You know what I mean? Adolfo, thank you for the comment. I appreciate it. I mean, I'm with you. I agree. But I just don't think they'll fix that. They're just gonna keep doing events like they have been, or making discounts. Next one here, we kind of have a two-parter. Okay, so Michael, thank you. Honestly, a great vid. It was interesting. It was an interesting chat. You make it feel as if it's a conversation and not just you saying stuff. Makes the vid easier to watch. Have fun getting that Ryan up. So well done. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I want it to be a conversation. I'm never somebody who thinks that they know everything. I always want to know the other side's opinion, which is why I ask you guys to comment so much. And it's also why I'm doing this discussion video. It's very, very nice to see your guys' opinion, and whether I agree or disagree, I love to know what you guys are thinking. Okay, now on to the second part. I believe they'll continue to release stuff. The point that you brought up that made me think positive about the game future is the fact that they are indeed banning people on a currently low pop game. So they aren't looking at now, but looking at the future. Yeah, I agree with that. They are banning people on a low population game, which goes to show we're not really in it for the money. A lot of games that I've played before that are obviously shut down now, they would keep people there because those people made the game population seem inflated. And when game companies do that, that's how you know they're out for your money. That's how you know they're about to sink, and they're just going to let people do whatever. Even before Grand Chase closed, they had that type of stuff happening where people were duplicating items and people were hacking and whatnot, but they weren't really doing anything about it. Like they just let it go. But now they're actually banning people, like hardcore banning people. I don't really like those wrongful bans though. That they need to like have a system in play for that or something like that. I think that's kind of dumb. Hopefully they do. I mean, they probably don't have the manpower to really sift through all this. They just assume, hey, this person's bad, everybody else in the party is bad too. I don't like that, but at the same time, if you don't really have the resources or the money to do something like that, then what are you gonna do, you know? But that being said, the fact that they don't care about it is showing that they care more about the game state and the quality of the game than they care about numbers inflations. So that goes to show that they don't really care about the money that they get and things like that. Obviously, every company cares about the money that they get, don't get me wrong, but I'm pretty sure when it comes to Grand Chase Classic, they didn't re-release it to like gain money and like having a big income source. Grand Chase was never a big game in general, which is, like I said, why I'm glad they didn't bow down to those players. There was what, 75K people that was like playing when the game released, and all of them were complaining and whining about characters not being out, and now characters are being released, especially those people were actually complaining and talking about, and we're at like 5,000 base every month. Like I said, it's the hype factor. There was never that many players in general playing like any game. 75K on games like Grand Chase, maybe MapleStory. MapleStory was huge though. But on like Rumble Fighter and like, you know, all these other little like small indie games, basically, to have 75K people is some bull. So like I said, I'm glad they didn't crumble. I'm glad they didn't be like, yeah, we'll do it. We're sorry. I mean, KOG knew. They're not dumb, right? If you're a game company, you shouldn't be dumb. They knew it was going to happen, and what was the point of bowing down to people that aren't going to play anymore? Why don't we let everybody start leaving the game and seeing our concurrent player base and then start listening to them? And that's pretty much what they did, right? So I'm down for that. It goes to show that they do care about the quality of the game and just not how many players are playing it. So very, very good on that. Michael, thank you for your comment. I appreciate it. Let's go to the next one. Dalen, I feel like I said that wrong. Honestly, just want Dio. Level, I played over 400 hours now. XCD responds, I want to try Zero again. His moveset was quite unique. I had all the characters unlocked except the ones that were unavailable at the time, which was Rin Lime. Facts, he was also in my top 5. I mean, I agree. And he's coming, so don't worry too much about it. Last says, are you okay, Lofton? You seem a bit down distant in that video. Hope you're doing okay, man. I appreciate that, dude. I appreciate the fact that you're thinking about me. I appreciate the fact that you think that you hope that I'm doing well. I'd be doing better, you know, if I had more Patreon. No, I'm just stop, unsubscribe from me now. Look, I play with you guys. I play with your emotions a little bit too much, don't I? No, but I really do appreciate it that you care about me. I care about you guys too. So thank you for that comment. Yeah, I'm doing fine. I don't know why I sounded distant in that video. The camera never lies, I guess. I don't like GC's set of dungeon. It was more alive when it's in its early years. Dungeons are placed accordingly. I don't get that one. I don't like GC's set of dungeons. Like the way that they're mapped out. They were mapped out pretty sporadically. I believe they mapped them out like that because of lore reasons. Like everything connects lore-wise now, way better. Whereas before, there was really no connection with lore. It was just kind of like map. Oh, new character's coming out. We got to go back and try to like write that character into the game, and then it was very hectic. I'm gonna assume you mean more in terms of gameplay, but in terms of like lore and how the game should be progressed, especially to a new player coming into the game, I think this dungeon set is probably a lot better than the old dungeons set that they had. This one's a little bit more easy to navigate. This one tells players what you should be doing, what's next. Very, very point A to point B gameplay, and that's how a lot of games are now. You know, a lot of games are more handheldy, where they don't really want you confused, and they want you to just kind of go straight until you get to like in-game. So I think it's just more organized, but I see what you're trying to say. And that is the last comment. So thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. As I said, I'll have another discussion video, and once I do that discussion, comment down there and you guys will be in the next video. If you guys have any specific topics that you think I should touch and I have to talk about, let me know in the comments below of this video, and we'll see if I'll feature your idea in the next video. Once again, if you enjoy my content and you want to see my channel grow and you want to see me continually pump out more content, Patreon is where you want to go. Once we reach our goal on Patreon, we'll be having regular streams every single week. I can see your beautiful faces, you can see my beautiful faces, and we can play together. Thank you guys for watching. Till next time, you know what I always say. Thank you for what? Popping often. Real often.